Okay, go ahead and turn it off. So we're going to change the water pump really quick on this car. Wait a minute, that's not the water pump. Here's our lovely Duralast water pump and our belt. This water pump doesn't leak, but the bearings are failing. I was hoping to give you a good audio representation of that thing rattling, but it doesn't really want to be super loud right now, so you just have to trust me, it's no good. So we're going to get the belt knocked off of it real quick, and then we'll take the pulley loose and then extract the water pump. Okay, so we're going to try taking the belt off, or the pulley off the water pump while the belt is still on, so it'll hold it in place. Let's see if we can fish our little baby impact down in here. Oh yeah, that works just fine. Okay, so this is tight enough. We need to go to a 6-point. Oh yeah, that got her. We were making it too complicated for ourselves.
You were making it too complicated.
I was making it too complicated. Isaac wanted to use the ratchet from the beginning. Okay, now we'll take the belt off. So Isaac's fishing the belt out. To get the belt out, literally all you do is put your ratchet and 3/8 drive ratchet into the idler, the spring-loaded idler. Once he gets the belt out of there, I'll show that. We are going to throw a fresh belt on it. So you just push down on that like he's doing there. There you go. I hate it when that happens. Okay, so we can finish spinning the bolts out of the water pump pulley. Then of course we'll be reusing the pulley. And there's 4 bolts holding the water pump in. This one, this one, this one, and there's one directly at the bottom of the pump.
I want the ratchet for.
So we're going to try the ratchet. I may go get a 2-inch extension on that guy to make that go a little smoother. Go ahead and break them all loose if you can.
Below the pulley.
Should be this guy right here. Now you can probably use your throttle. Four the same, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we're not going to do a full massive coolant flush on this thing. So literally we're just going to pop this pump out. Whatever drains out into our drain is all that we're going to change for now. most importantly, just need to keep the car running at this point. So I'm gonna go get a hammer and a brass drift, and we'll see what it takes to get this guy out, and maybe a pry bar. I'm thinking a pry bar off of this alternator bolt behind the pulley flange is gonna take it right out.
It's moving.
Not really too worried about breaking this water pump because it's going in the garbage can.
See if you can get the pry bar right there.
These water pumps are notorious for getting stuck or being stuck. But you gotta be kind of careful what you're prying on because you don't want to break neighboring parts.
You're moving it when you're pulling on the pulley.
It looks like... Is there a gap right there?
Yeah. All angry. Okay.
So here on this channel, we pretty much keep it real. When stuff is stuck or doesn't go exactly like you want it to, you usually get to see it. You gotta be really careful punching on this stuff with a screwdriver, or you can damage your mating faces. So I don't know if it shows on the camera, but you can see the two ears that we're going in behind. There she goes. Okay, so we lost audio on the GoPro. It's a fairly common problem with the GoPro Hero 5. Maybe I'll make a video on how not to have this happen. But anyways, we're lubing up the O-ring on the new pump. Now Isaac's gonna place the water pump into the block. You want to push as hard as you can. Sometimes it'll go all the way in. Other times you're going to have to draw the water pump in with the bolts. Normally it's not a good idea to draw things in with the bolts, but sometimes when you're dealing with O-rings you have to just go nice and easy and very evenly apply torque to the bolts. Crisscross pattern. Here we're running the bolts in with the electric ratchet. Now we're torquing the water pump bolts to the block, 18 foot-pounds. Reattaching the water pump pulley. So the worst part is probably torquing the pulley bolts, because obviously the pulley wants to spin. We thought we would put the belt back on and use the belt tension to hold the pulley to torque the bolts, but it just slips. And here in this shot, we're just running the bolts in, we're not torquing them. Okay, so we've started lacing around the crank pulley, water pump, power steering pump, and we are ready to, we've come up over the top of the alternator, top of that idler. We are ready to seat this guy into position. So I'm going to come down in here with this guy. And then Isaac's got to put the belt around the air conditioning clutch. So that guy's got to come all the way back like this. Oh, it's already... Apologize if the lighting is terrible. All we have is natural light at the moment. It's going to be a lot tighter than it was yesterday because it's a brand new belt. Okay, so we got the belt put back on, and we're going to torque up the pulley bolts. Okay, so we're going to torque up these water pump bolts to 20 foot-pounds, or in this case 240 inch-pounds, and then after that we're going to service up the coolant and start it up and check for leaks. My battery's getting ready to die once again, so we're giving up on this filming project. Okay, so we got the water pump done. I think it's pretty safe to say that that's the quietest that this car's ever been since we've owned it. So kind of to summarize while this thing's warming up, you need a 10mm socket for the hub bolts that hold the pulley on. You need a 13mm socket for the 4 bolts that hold the water pump to the block. And you'll need a ratchet with a 3/8 drive or a breaker bar to work the idler pulley to get the belt on and off. And you might need a few other little tools here and there, some pry bars or hammers and whatnot to get the water pump removed from the block, because it can be pretty stubborn in there. I know these 4.6s or any of the mod motors, they take a month of Sundays to warm up, so we may have to actually go out and drive this thing around to get the thermostat to open. So we're going to do that, and we will consider this job successfully done.